Hey, I'm Kev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Magic Careers. We're ready to rumble for the final time in Season 3. And here we are in Spain for the 4th time this season. And in Valencia around the Ricardo Tomo circuit, named after the late Grand Prix motorcycle racer. And we're trying to approach this final corner. So a very good run down this front stretch. It's heading into this round. MacDonald is second in the championship by a single point from the outgoing double champ Canet. Of course, wanted to do very well on home turf, but so does the new champ Juan Mir, who grabbed it last time out in Malaysia. So MacDonald's got lots of people not backing him around it. Of course, you also got Jorge Martin as well. You got Miguel Herrera. You got loads of Spanish riders in the field. So lots of home support for them too. And Steve's on a high. I'll cheer them on to end it on a high. This is not the best qualifying that so far, they're very slow. Of course, looking to qualify in the top 10, I think. Now we've discovered that glitch once again, thanks to that viewer. I'm noticing that. That was a bit better into that right hand. That's going to be one of our main overtaking spots. It's all right into the fast right though, heading into the final sector. So now we've got this bendy kind of straight into the final corner. Such a difficult braking zone to spot because you're going downhill, you're turning. It feels like I braked a bit early there. This is not a good time. 42.7. Feel like a couple of seconds off the pace there. A bit like round Phillip Island. Let's see, skip time. Oh yeah, look at that. 40.1 from Fanati. But Mir grabs it, the pole in the end. The final pole of the season goes to the champion. That seems kind of fitting. Head of Fanati and Canet in third with Belaga fourth, Martin fifth, McPhee sixth. It's an all-Italian third row for the final time this season with Antonelli rounding out the top 10. Top Peugeot goes to Kornfeld. Top Mahindra just goes to MacDonald by 41,000 for a second here of Della Porta. They sit on the 7th row alongside Suzuki, and our teammate just missed out by a tenth of a second of joining us there. And he's just a couple of tenths of a second behind us in qualifying. We finished Patrick at the back. So, going to Elusive. Show what they did in Malaysia and show it here in Valencia.
Good morning from the Ricardo Tomo circuit in Valencia, where the final round of this year's Moto3 World Championship is about to get underway.
And we've got some beautiful sunny conditions for the season finale. There's a very happy front row, and looking further down you've got Rodrigo in 12, a bit unsure about that position. It looks like Nureddin leads the 5th row of Roy and Guevara. There is the 6th row there by Danilo, and there is Lightstill and Magnum on the same page. Probably the first time I've ever seen the Elusive teammates on the same page of the starting grid. That's right at the back are your usual suspects.
The riders have all lined up on the starting grid. We are mere seconds away from the start of what promises to be a sensational Grand Prix.
So here we are, very different conditions compared to Malaysia when it was raining. This time we've got some glorious sun to battle over the 6 laps here. So start 19th. Got a decent start though compared to Kornfeld. We skip ahead of him. And look at us blazing through the middle is MacDonald heading into the first corner. He's already up into the points. Behind Rodrigo. He's got Roy in front of him. There's Rodrigo. The brakes in the middle of that corner. That was very helpful. Let's all out brakes ourselves into the left. Look around the outside, Ramirez and Suzuki. We also got Paz Suzuki looking around the outside of Cornfield, is that? So we also got Ramirez there. He's just in front of us. We're looking down the inside of the Spaniards. Going to score a point in his home race. To see he was battling De La Porta. Now we've got De Niro in front. Oh, there's Nuruddin right in front of him as well. He's holding that final points paying spot. Not anymore. He's got Guevara in front. Or was that Sasaki? There's Nuruddin right in front. And it looks like we've got... Is that Fanati down here? Can't be. It's got to be Di Gianantonio, hasn't it? And we've got Loyola right in front of him. So once again, MacDonald having a battle through the field. This qualifying. And easily down the inside the Belgium. Having no trouble with him. A bit different from last season, isn't it? As you come to the end of the first lap. Taking a very wide line. That's more of the line you got to take, but then we kind of trail brake too much into the apex. Losing kind of momentum out the corner. We've got some slipstream as we go across the line for the first time. Canet leads. Nope, Mir leads. The home fans are going crazy in the grandstands to our right hand side as that's a dive down the inside of Antonelli. We saw you don't want to do that in Australia. Well, it works out this time around. It's got Bastianini and the German in front. And now Loy's dived down the inside of Antonelli, and so does Di Gianantonio. Antonelli having a shocking start to the lap. Well, MacDonald just continues dive bombing the Italians. There goes Bastianini. Up into 9th, and he did a fast lap and that opened out 44.4. Diving down the inside of the KTM. Got Fanati in front. He's dropped down to 7th. Once again, not having a good start is the Italian. Got Martin in front of him. And then we got Sky Italia riders battling McPhee in the top 5. As there he goes, MacDonald up into 6th, and then we got the two Spaniards at the front. Taking down the inside, is he? Bit ambitious, bit too far back. He's got on the power. And here's Magello in front, McPhee 4th, Budaga 3rd. So yeah, we're using some of the track. And some there. To come to the end of the second lap, looking to the inside, are we? Trying it to the inside, and oh! There may have been 2 races in a row where we've accidentally taken out Magello. MacDonald's got some apologising to do in the off-season. As Mir does the fast lap 41.2. Nope, MacDonald did the fast lap 41 flat. As here comes Jorge Martin with Fanati. Oh, Fanati! Beautiful move, and now here comes the German looking to join the railroading. Not going to injure either, but MacDonald is a Knight Antonelli. He will fight back. Budaga and McPhee exchanging places, and it's like Budaga's in front of the Scot as we're going elbow to elbow with Fanati. Not the thing to do, MacDonald, as you can see almost into the gravel trying to avoid the Italian. And dives down the inside, holds up in the apex and gets a good exit. So now we've got 2 pairs in front to concentrate on. MacDonald definitely got the pace this race. Very strong. Might not have the qualifying pace. Definitely in races. He's been strong almost at every round this season. Very encouraging for whoever stays in Moto3 next season. As Elusive Racing is looking to expand, of course, into Moto2 with MacDonald. Sure, we get some good offers. If we can get a good bike as well, we can definitely afford everything apart from the Calyx at the moment. Depends what bonus we get at the end of the season. We can afford top of the line machinery, which almost every team rides on. I think it's like 2/3 of the grid at least. MacDonald again under 41s as he's right in the back of this battle for 3rd. Look at that, fast as that. Goes a bit wide in the first corner, and that's definitely not his corner. Well, the rest of the lap is. He's got Bastianini past Martin into 6th. Remember Martin battling for a top 5 as well with Fenati. Looks like those places won't be swapped if they're the same amount of dervs. Oh, MacDonald with a dive bomb on Budiger from nowhere as we're over halfway through this race. Might not be able to catch a top 2, which would be disconcerting as where Canet is, he's taken second in the championship. Which, considering where he was a couple of rounds ago, incredibly disappointing compared to MacDonald. Oh, he gets the nick down the inside of Budiger. He's taken down one of Sky Tire rider. MacDonald fancies another, it looks like. Watch out, the young Italian in front. It's, oh, dives down the inside and dives down the inside of McPhee. It's like that Misano double right-hander, except it's not Canet, it's MacDonald who's doing the diving. And so he goes a bit wide into the fast right. He's a couple of seconds behind Canet. He's got some catching up to do, and now he's battling Budiger. So that long left-hander, and oh, he's got into the back of the Italian. McPhee's trying to take advantage of it. MacDonald got some slipstream though. He's got a double slipstream going on here. Taking it off McPhee. Who is going to lead out of this first corner? Is going to the penultimate lap of the race. McPhee's been left behind. MacDonald takes third. And now we'll be hunting the top 2. He remains in front after this left-hander. Covering that inside line as Mir takes the lead from Canet. Oh, here comes Budiger. And the exit the corner. Oh, he's trying to defend the inside into the right-hander. That's not going to work out. But oh, here comes Budiger again. So aggressive, this the Italian. Pushing him wide. That's allowed McPhee to have another look. Almost kiss second in the championship goodbye at this moment. Berger battling hard. He wants a podium to end the season. So does MacDonald. He wants more than just a podium. They're almost 3 seconds back now. The top 2. He's going to have to get his skates on in this final lap in a bit of the season if he wants second in the championship. As me and Canet have just rode away. This whole weekend they have. Apart from qualifying. When Fenati gave them a visit, but he's dispatched him in the race. Okay, he's already gained around 4 tenths. Much more confident in that fast right-hander as well. Probably the best he's taken it. So approach the final corner, very wide line. Off the brakes a bit earlier. Nikodek getting that bike into the apex. Can momentum more through that corner. Much better. So it feeds up to 4th head of Budiger. So we're on the final lap of the season. MacDonald chasing down a podium and second in the championship with Canet right in front of him. His championship rival. As Mir takes the lead. Oh, MacDonald goes wide in the first corner. He's a perfect final lap. That's not how you begin it. Now that's allowed McPhee to have a look down his inside. Oh, he's braking hard. And that's allowed both McPhee and Budiger by. MacDonald trying to dispatch them quickly. And let's compromise him into the double right as he kicks up the dirt, trying to carry the momentum through the corner. Horrible line. Once again, bashing with McPhee. He's just focusing on the 2 in front and they're just staying away from him. Not going to be able to catch them up in this half of that. Look at that, almost 4 seconds behind now, thanks to that battling. Qualifying really has cost him here in Australia as well. So he's gone wide in the right-hander now as well. Oh, what a disappointing end to the season for MacDonald and Elusive. Oh, there's been so good with Mihin, just so many wins. Some fantastic battles with the top riders in the championship. But just Japan and Australia took the wins out of the sail. Murray recovered in Malaysia. But hasn't been able to recover here in Valencia to grab second in the championships. He does grab a podium though. That's the top 3 in the championship. Get the top 3 in the race and how they're going to end the season as well with the champion just beating his rival Kennett by half a tenth of a second in the end. So close between those two that whole race. MacDonald pipping McPhee to the podium spot with Bulliger in 5th, Martin 6th, Bastianini 7th, Finati 8th, Anthony 9th, and Noy rounding out the top 10. Ahead of Mugello, Di Gianantonio in 12th, Mugello recovering well again from a MacDonald hit. Nuadin in 13th, Saki 14th, and Danilo with the final point ahead of Ramirez, Guevara, Suzuki, Binder, and Della Porte rounding out the top 20. Otel down there in 21st. Bezzecchi in 22nd, Arbellino in 23rd, Paraglani in 24th. There's our teammate in 25th, Nicolaou. I apologise for my terrible pronunciation there. Herrera 26th, the tie rider in 27th, Tuba in 28th, Rodrigo in 29th, Kornfeld fell down to 30th. Terrible race for Peugeot. Arenas 31st, Pulukinen in 32nd, and Vince Snyder in 33rd. What a way to end the season for Bo. So in the final championship standings, it is confirmed Kennett is second by 3 points ahead of MacDonald Indian. So close between the pair has mere wins by 35 points, with Martin in 4th, 8 points ahead of Bulliger in the end, with Finati 6th, Bastianini up to 7th ahead of Mugello, even though we're level on points, with McPhee up to 9th ahead of Otel, even though they were level on points. Very close throughout the whole of the top 10, with Anthony just 3 points ahead of DG Antonio in 11th, Loy in a very comfortable 13th, 29 points ahead of Nuadin, who's 14 points ahead of Danilo in 15th, with Rodrigo 16th, 4 points ahead of Ramirez, who's 3 points ahead of Guevara. Sasaki climbs up to 19th ahead of Binder. Good result for the Japanese rider in the end, with Herrera 21st and Suzuki 22nd, the last of the points scorers. As 2/3 of the field scored this season, with Arbellino in 23rd ahead of Della Porte, and there's our teammate in 25th ahead of Kornfeld. Then we've got Paganini, then we've got Tuba, Bezzecchi, Bernsteiner, Arenas, the tie rider, and Perlinkinen in 33rd and last, otherwise known as Finnish Patrick normally, because I can't pronounce any of these names, so I do apologise for that. As in the constructors standings, Honda win by 99 points, 405 plays 306, with Mahindra second, 68 points ahead of KTM. We end up on 238 points, with Peugeot not scoring for the first time in our playthrough, as they only have Kornfeld and Finnish Patrick to score for them now. So the championship winners, it ends with the top 3 on the podium in Valencia, as the top 3 exactly the same in the championship standings, with Mir ecstatic at getting his first title ahead of Kennett and MacDonald. As there is a pretty disappointing MacDonald in the end, getting third in the race and in the championship after leading with just 4 rounds to go. It all went pear-shaped in Australia and Japan, and yeah, the bike wasn't quite with him there in Valencia, but a very good ride through the field. As looking at the weekend recap, and one end to the season for Elusive, with both race objectives achieved for, I can only count one hand I think, that happened in this season. But good to see our team backing ourselves up, though, with MacDonald after starting 19th, finishing third. A very good race to finish that high up, but disappointed how it ended up in the championship, with a teammate falling back in the race as well and ended up 25th in the championship. Not very good sign if he wants to get re-signed for next season. He does improve his throttle management though, when MacDonald improves his throttle management, cornering and body position. And we earn a decent amount of credit. Look at that bonus! Over 100,000. I think we can afford a certain bike. And our reputation sky high after that race. So let's look at the championship standings then, not just for Moto3 but for MotoGP and Moto2. I don't normally do this at the end of seasons, but I feel like it's a good sign to wrap everything up and see what's happening in every championship. As well as Yamaha won the Constructor Standings in MotoGP by 36 points from Honda, with Ducati in a very solid third ahead of Suzuki, Aprilia and KTM not scoring. As in the Riders' Championship, it was Vinales by 3 points from Rossi. Imagine if that happened in real life and just 13 points ahead of Marquez. It definitely could happen. As well, with Dovizioso in 4th, 82 points back for Ducati. Pedrosa 5th, Crutchlow in 6th, Zarco in 7th on the Tech 3 ahead of the Work Suzuki of Iannone. You can only dream of finishing the top 10 in real life, can't he, the Italian? With Lorenzo in 9th, just ahead of Petrucci by 21 points, with Volga in 11th, Red in 12th. Alicia Spargo in 13th on that Aprilia. Very solid championship standing for him, or championship position. Jack Miller in 14th, 16 points behind, or 2 points behind Espargaro and 16 points ahead of Alex Rins in 15th on that Suzuki. Lois Baz in 16th, Alvaro Bautista in 17th, Hector Barber 18th, and Tito Rabat in 19th. And the last point scorers out the 23 riders were Kyle Abraham, Paul Espargaro, Bradley Smith, and Sam Lowe's not scoring. So in the Moto2 Constructors Standings, Cadex wins by 196 points from KTM, who are 110 points ahead of Tech 3, who are 45 points ahead of Suter, with speed up to scoring a single point. You can see why we want to get that Cadex, don't you, for Moto2. As in the Riders' Championship, Alex Marquez wins by 14 points from Franco Morbidelli. I wouldn't mind seeing that in real life, but might be a bit unlikely. Maybe next season for Alex Marquez. But Luti in 3rd, 88 points back. Miguel Oliveira, look at that. A KTM and Munch Cactus in 4th with 254 points. 19 ahead of Passini. Then Marini in 6th. Nakagami in 7th. Xavi is at Verge in 8th on the Tech 3. Fantastic season from the Spaniard. With Quartararo in 9th. Baldassari in 10th. Shirota 11th. Danny Kent 12th. Bagnaia in 13th. Agata 14th. Rapp in 15th. Pons climbed in the final race up to 16th ahead of Brad Binder. And Simone Corsi, the only point scorer for Speed Up. And the last point scorer as well. 18 riders out of the 32 scoring points, with the best non-point scorer being Sorin and Simone. And out the top 20 ahead of Isaac Vinales, then Cortese, Remy Gardner, Jorge Navarro, Edgar Pons, Yoni Hernandez, Nakashima, Paui, Lucatelli, Bersani, Manzi, and Lecutia, the Spaniard. I terribly butchered his name. And then we've seen in Moto3 Honda winning from Mahindra, KTM and Peugeot. And the championship stands, as you can see, changing between Canet and MacDonald in that final race. With Baccini up to 7th, Amphi up to 9th as well. And Sasaki up to 19th. So those are the standings of the 3rd season of the playthrough. As Team Elusive HU have got some work to do though for next season, do we? Or we're going to try and earn some credits. So let's see as we go into an activity day or test. I don't say it's going to be a test as we've got nothing to improve, so I won't improve anything by 2 weeks. So it's going to be either going to the gym, improve the abs and back muscles for a rider, so you're going to get 100 XP, cornering ability boost. Do some muscle endurance, so you're going to get a 20% boost on braking ability for the next race, which is next season. 100 XP boost for body position if they do some coordination in the gym. Or 100 XP boost for braking ability if they go to the gym and do muscle endurance. So it looks like our riders are going to the gym. Basically, I don't think we're going to be doing the coaching, as we don't even know the Ciprit's going to return next season. Don't even know MacDonald is going to be back. So what are we going to improve? What do we need to improve? Braking ability? Why not? So we are going to proceed to next season. And this is a stopping off point for this episode, as I will be back next season with lots of changes, no doubt. So now for watching. Thank you for watching this season, for liking, sharing, subscribing, or just watching the videos. And I will be back for season 4 tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and I will see you then.